You guys wanted Ryan Poles to add offensive line through free agency, and he delivered on day 3 of signing offensive lineman Matt Pryor to a 1-year contract, but he wasn't done there because he signed quarterback Riepen to a 1-year contract, who knows the Waldron offense very well. I can see why he signed him. And then a special teams guru was added to the roster from the LA Chargers, linebacker Ogbongbemiga. And yes, Ron, I practiced that one a lot before this show, to also a 1-year contract. Now, before I get into the breakdown of each of these guys, I just want to say a few things because I can feel the tension and the impatience and kind of like, what is Ryan Poles doing in this free agency period? Well, he has signed 2 starters. He signed running back DeAndre Swift, which is a running back 1, and a safety, Kevin Byard, who is an all-pro, addressing those 2 key areas of need. But he has said since the beginning he wants to build this team through the draft. And how I view the free agency is rentals for depth pieces. That's what you get in free agency. And longevity starters for this team is built through the draft. We don't need to sign every single free agent in the world. They also don't all have to be splashes. We've had guys like Andrew Billings become a very solid free agent signing for the Chicago Bears. TJ Edwards has become one of our best linebackers. I'm not saying he wasn't a splash, but he wasn't the big name like Tremaine Edmonds was. Overall, I mean, Poles, he knows what he's doing, guys. I'm really trusting him. This team is already better than last year. We haven't even stepped onto the field yet. We have better coaches for the offense, better coaches for the defense. We have more depth players. And also, we're developing young guys into stars. And also, Poles has only had 2 draft classes so far. And these guys have either already become starters or can be starters. You have Brisker, you have Gordon, you have Stevenson, Dexter Sr., Wright, are just some of the guys to start off with. And we're going to continue to do that. So just the draft hasn't happened yet, and I'm telling you, you're going to feel a lot better after the free agency period, especially with what we're going to do in the draft. So just stay tuned for that and buckle up because things can get crazy at any moment. Now, before we begin today's show about the new guys we added in day 3, if you think Ryan Poles is doing a solid job so far and you have trust in him of building this team correctly, make sure to hit the like button on this video to show your support and comment who you have overall likes so far, who you want the Bears to go out and get, or just put a bear down in the comment section below. So right now, after looking at the Chicago Bears website, it looks like we have about $32 million in cap, but take away $14 million for the rookies, we're at about $18 million left in free agency. We still might go out and sign some depth pieces, along with also we might make a splash after someone randomly gets cut from a team, but Ryan Poles is not done yet, guys. He knows there's positions of need, and we're doing a good job so far. That's why he brought in Matt Pryor, offensive lineman, recently with the 49ers on their Super Bowl team on a 1-year contract. The 29-year-old is 6'7", 337 pounds. He's played in 15 games last year for the 49ers, mainly on special teams, but has gotten 42 offensive snaps where he had an 88.5 PFF grade. Huge depth piece. He can play everything minus center. And honestly, I think that he's been around the league. He's done good on other teams. He also has a connection with Eberflus when they were both in Indianapolis together. And Ian Cunningham was in that front office when they drafted him to the Eagles a few years back. I give it a C+. I think it's a solid piece. You can never have too much depth on this team. We only have 5 picks. I'd rather get an established starter that knows this league and can play in the NFL. Overall, I still want them to get a center, but not a bad free agent signing. Then we went out and got quarterback Riepen from the Seahawks, a journeyman he's 27 years old, 6'2", 202 pounds. He does last play for the Seattle Seahawks, which he was on the practice squad and knows Waldron's offense. Last year, he played him 1 game, 172 yards, 1 interception, and a 48% pass completion percentage. He is not the starter. I know a lot of you guys are like, what the heck? We have Bajent. Well, we need a guy that knows this offense for whoever the quarterback is for the Chicago Bears next year, whether that is Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, or even Tyson Bajent, some people want. Overall, I like this signing. I think he'll be a practice squad guy anyway. He knows the offense, can bring guys up to speed. 1-year contract. Don't look too into it, guys, but see, he brings value to knowing this playbook and help get guys up to speed, kind of like Gerald Everett can as well for the receiver. So I like the moves overall. And then the last guy, the special teams guru, Ogbongbemiga from the Chargers, is only 25 years old, 6 foot, 231 pounds, is actually a linebacker. So we get a depth piece there. Last year for the Chargers, he had 5 total tackles, all on special teams, but 2 fumble recoveries. So this guy can absolutely fly downfield. has a really good eye on the ball. And him, Blackwell, and Jalen Jones this upcoming year could be nasty on special teams. Blackwell still hasn't fully become back to the Bears, but he is a restricted free agent. So the Bears have first dibs at getting him, which I'm super excited about. I hope Ryan Poles gets something done today. But those, I mean, having special teams we've seen is so important in this league. Even with the kickoff rule the way it is on punt returns, this guy has been unstoppable. Overall, another linebacker to the roster. Big guy, fast. Not a bad contract either. Just a 1-year contract. Not too big of a cap hit. But I give it a B. You can never have too many special team studs, in my opinion, and they're continuously building another depth piece. So overall, I like what Poles is doing. You are getting guys on cheap contracts for short term because you might trade back this year. You can get more pieces through the draft that these guys can train them, mentor them, because then when their contracts are over, we have guys on rookie contracts that are just as good as them, if not better. And then this team is going to be very good for a very long time. So I know it's frustrating that we haven't made that splash and that big news, but we did get DeAndre Swift. I mean, that's a pretty good one. And Kevin Byard for nothing, 2-time All-Pro. So overall, guys, I really like what Poles is doing. I don't think he's being cheap. I think he's being smart. So thank you for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. We will have breaking news as it comes today if we sign anybody. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Bear down, baby.